The woman with the clipboard said, "Everyone who rides bus 12, stand up." I'm still not over what that sentence turned out to mean. She came into our homeroom right after announcements. Lanyard, district polo, clipboard, introduced herself as being from transportation, and said routes were being redrawn, so she needed to run a quick survey. Our teacher, Mrs. Ostrander, barely looked up from her grading. People with lanyards and clipboards can go anywhere. That's the lesson of this story, I guess. About 10 of us stood. Great. Stay standing if you're bored in the mornings, not just afternoons. 2 kids sat down. Now, those standing, hands up if your stop is on the Birchwood side of the route. 4 hands, mine included. It felt like a normal survey right up until it didn't. Birchwood kids, keep your hand up if you use the stop at Birchwood and 5th. 2 of us now. Me and a 7th grader named Yusuf. And keep your hand up if you were riding the last week before spring break. Not everybody travels. Yusuf's family had been in Dearborn that whole week visiting his grandmother. His hand came down. Mine stayed up, alone, and the room had gone quiet in that way. Rooms do when something's off, but nobody can name it. She looked at me for what felt like a long time. Then she smiled, made a little check mark, thanked the class, and told everyone the new routes would be posted soon. She never told us her name. I noticed that at lunch, when I tried to describe how weird it felt, and realized I had nothing to call her. When we came back from lunch, Principal Amaro was in our classroom with the actual head of district transportation, a man we'd all seen 100 times, and 2 police officers. My stomach dropped through the floor before anyone said a word. They had Mrs. Ostrander walk through the entire survey question by question. Who stood, who sat, where it narrowed. When she got to the last question and pointed to me, the transportation guy and the taller officer looked at each other, and Principal Amaro said, very calmly, "Let's call your mom, okay, bud?" Here's what I learned in the office, sitting between my parents. 3 weeks earlier, on the last Friday before break, a man who rides his bike to the early shift at the packaging plant was hit by a car 2 blocks from Birchwood and 5th, around 7:10 a.m., and left in the road. A jogger found him. He'd been in a coma since. No cameras on that stretch. The only lead was a neighbor who thought she'd seen a middle schooler with a backpack walking toward the bus stop right around that time. The driver, it turns out, had seen that kid too. The woman this morning doesn't work for the district, the officer said. The polo's sold online. The lanyard was a gym membership card flipped backward. She signed in with a name that doesn't exist. He let that settle. We think she came to find out exactly one thing. Which student uses that stop and was in town that week. And she'd gotten her answer. Me, standing alone with my hand up, while I helpfully confirmed my own schedule out loud. The officer asked what I remembered about that Friday morning. And the thing is, I did remember a car, not the hit. I'd had earbuds in. I was half asleep. I came through after. But a block before my stop, a silver car had pulled out of the shoulder fast enough to startle me, and the driver had stopped for a second, gotten out, and bent down to look at her front bumper. She'd glanced at me. I'd glanced at her. 8 seconds, maybe. "Would you know her again?" the officer asked. I closed my eyes. Dark hair and sunglasses, red frames, pushed up on her head, even though it was gray out, which I'd noticed because my aunt has the same ones. Then it hit me all at once. Cold water down the spine. The clipboard woman had been wearing red-framed sunglasses pushed up on her head, indoors, in February. I'd looked right at them while she counted our hands. "It was her," I said. "She was in my classroom 4 hours ago." They pulled the school's entrance camera footage while we sat there. Different hair than that morning on Birchwood, glasses she didn't need, but the same face, the same red frames, holding it all together like a signature she didn't know she had. They arrested her 9 days later, 2 counties over, with a freshly repaired bumper the body shop had documented in photos. The cyclist woke up in April. His name is Marcus. He came to our school assembly in the fall on a new bike and shook my hand in front of everyone. I still ride bus 12, but nobody with a clipboard gets a single answer out of me ever again.